I wanted to talk about irrigation and why it's so important to me that I mention it every damn day. Okay, a colostomy is nothing more than a hole in your stomach through which your colon protrudes. And out of that comes everything that used to come out of your butt. And it comes out pretty randomly. I found that it would come out for anywhere up to 90 minutes at a time, up to 4 times a day. So if you figure that out, there's not a whole lot of time when it's clean. I was able to get maybe 4 hours of sleep between. It was robbing me of sleep. I would have about 2 hours in the afternoon for all my errands. So it was robbing me of activity and getting out. I couldn't go anywhere in the morning without potentially facing having to do a complete cleanup and change in a public washroom because of the way that it acts. When it's coming out, I can't wear anything that clings to my form because it will actually cause problems with the way that the output moves into the bag. I have to be able to reach in to my pants and massage it and encourage the output to flow from the top to the bottom of the bag. And this then has me in a mall or something, fiddling in my pants, an embarrassing thing to be doing, and kind of freaky for strangers. When you're wearing, 3 layers plus coat, now you have to undo all your winter layers at 30 below just so you can reach in and check to see whether or not your stoma's outputting, because you don't have a nerve sensation telling you. You just the skin around the stoma still has nerves, and your brain learns to highlight that, and you become extra sensitive. So it's kind of like, for a moment you thought you felt an ant crawling around in there. Maybe it was an output, or maybe it was just restlessly shifting. Or you thought it was just a fart, but no, actually, you just filled your bag, and you better get to a bathroom post-haste. So the colostomy is considered a disability for good reason, and it was ruining my life. Now, I can't exactly say it was ruining my life, because before it, my life was shot. I was so darn sick, I wasn't going anywhere. And so, it saved my life. But it also when it saved my life, it also the life it gave me back was below the quality level at which your will to live vanishes. So irrigating is a process of putting water up inside your belly through that hole. And then that water causes your colon to go, and everything comes out. And you wear a plastic sleeve. This one's been folded up. It actually reaches all the way down to the floor. Actually, I can show you. And it's dirty. It's embarrassing, and I don't want to show the dirty, so I'm not going to. No. It's dirty. I can't. That's a step too far for me. Anyways, this clip holds really good, but when I'm in the bathroom and most of it is coming out, I also put a bulldog clip on it, roll it up real tight, and then I stick it in a bucket, because I am not gonna take any chances that anything is gonna escape. And you open the clip and you put it in the bottom in the toilet, and you start flushing from the top, because the top opens up. And you open up the top and you reach in with a gloved hand and the device that puts the water in. And so you put the water in your system, and mine will sometimes shut up like a toddler being fed peas. Just can't get that cone in for nothing. Just not gonna do it. Nope, not gonna do it. And the more tense I get, the worse the situation gets, until forget about it. I am angry and crying. My stoma's closed up like a virgin, and we're not going anywhere, and I'm going to be having my life ruined for the next however long. one of the ways that I found around having my life ruined by output was to get constipated. I would stop drinking water so that I would dry up, and then very little would come out. And when I did, it was very tame. It was very dry and low odor, and fell easily to the bottom of the bag. And I liked that. That was okay, but that's not healthy. So irrigating, if it works properly, and if I get it going, because I don't, after my colonoscopy last summer, everything stopped working. And so now I'm bringing it back again. I have to train my belly. And you train your belly. And so ultimately, ideally, I'll do this every 2 or 3 days. Not every day. And in between, I'll have freedom. I'll be able to wear a much smaller bag, a pouch that's really not much bigger than the bandage that holds everything on. I call it a bandage. You could call it a tape. It's just, I showed you in another video the other day. And ideally, I could wear this really small bag that just covers it and needs a little bit of a washout from mucus, and but there's nothing in it, right? And I could go swimming. I could even wear it open and obviously on the beach if I could get over my own embarrassment, or I could wear a one-piece suit over it, and there's just a little bit of a bump. That would be the ideal. That I could be doing this every other day or every 3 days. And the rest of the time, my time is my own, just like everybody else. And I'm not running to the bathroom to take a poop like other people, but neither am I constantly adjusting my bag, constantly worrying about what it's doing, and frequently having to go to the bathroom urgently. When you have to go to the bathroom, you generally have a warning about, anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes in advance. You got to make arrangements to have a poop, and you may get in your car and drive to a suitable toilet. To do so, you will have time to do that. But if the bag suddenly fills up and is breaching its containment, I don't have 10 minutes to solve the problem. I've got to get to a bathroom stat. And now I have to explain to everybody around me why I'm if I'm at lunch and it's smelling, because if it's starting to breach its containment, that's the first clue. So, ladies at lunch, and did somebody fart? Excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. That's difficult. And then you get to the bathroom and there's like stalls. Maybe you have to wait in line. And you have to deal with this. It's not a simple sit down and then a good wipe. It's a whole ridiculous thing that you have to deal with. And there's no little tables for you to lay out your supplies either, especially if you have breached it and have to replace the wafer, and you have to wipe down your skin, and you have to treat it with something to keep the skin from getting reactive to the output, and you have to wash everything down, and you're trying to lay it out on this little narrow piece of a toilet paper dispenser. It's enough to make you stay home. So this is why whether or not I successfully irrigated today is such a huge deal for me. Now today the irrigation is medium. I didn't really get the water in, but I did get stuff out. So I will probably be able to sleep tonight, but I definitely couldn't go without irrigating again tomorrow. And rather than sit in the bathroom for up to 3 hours, I pin the bag up like this, and I can walk around, and I can have my cup of coffee, because I've learned that having caffeine before I irrigate will make me fail. It just increases the adrenaline in the system enough to make that thing just go, and it's going to fail. So, and I might do the dishes as well while I wait to see if it's done. And then because this plastic sleeve allows me to put water all over it, I'm going to wash it until it is speckless, spotless, perfectly clean. And then I'm going to put on a fresh, clean bag, and then I'm going to walk around feeling as clean as anybody ever does. And that too is important to me. I've always cared about, I wouldn't say I've always cared about clean. There was a period in my youth when I was a very dirty girl. I didn't bathe and I didn't care. But most of my life, germs are top of mind. And I try to remind myself that my immune system is there to deal with germs, and that germs in the environment are necessary to keep your immune system healthy. But at the same time, I worry overmuch about whether or not I'm spreading germs, about whether or not I'm putting germs in food, about whether I'm offending other people. And if I didn't care about whether I was offending other people, and I can't tell you why I do care, if I didn't, this thing wouldn't bother me as much as it does. But for some reason, whether or not I offend other people really matters to me. Now, granted, the moment the other people in question become offensive, I stop caring. So if you know, somebody's watching this and they're going, oh, well, I'm offended. You effing B, I'm offended, and you suck, and you're a horrible person. I'm not going to be emotionally affected by you. That won't affect me. I've had too many bullies in my life to care anymore. I care about them. I feel sorry for them when I run into people like that. I want to open my heart, reach out, bring them in, show them love, show them what the joy that they're missing, teach them why it matters. And that impulse is why I'm still married to a man who just last night told me that as far as he's concerned, I'm sloppy, I'm careless, I do things unwell, and I'm stupid, and I'm lacking in logical reason, aka crazy. Yeah, we had another conversation about it last night, and I tried to get him to come up with an example, and the best he could do is the fact that the fence I built across the front isn't straight. And the fact that he started the fence in the wrong spot is irrelevant to the fact that it's not straight. Because he knew what he was doing, even though he didn't know what he was doing, and that's why he stopped after the first day to sit down at his computer for the rest of the year to try and figure it out on SketchUp. Yeah, while he was doing that, I went and finished the fence because I needed to keep the dogs in the yard. I couldn't wait a year for a new fence. But I'm the sloppy one. It's proof positive. And you know, this is a case of letting your narrative take over your reality. I have provided countless examples that I'm careful, that I'm intelligent, that I'm wise, that I'm sane, that I am thoughtful, that I am considerate, that I am compassionate and empathic, and generous of heart. I've demonstrated that I have self-control, that I have courage, that I have enough self-control to mind my tongue and to speak truth rather than hurtful things. He's the one that comes up with something to say because he thinks it'll be hurtful. I'm the one that comes up with something to say because it's truth, and I think it's about time I stop dancing around it just because it hurts you. And yet, he wants to tell me that he has no faith, confidence in me. And he has no faith or confidence in anything. He is afraid of change because he's afraid of everything. And the only thing that he trusts is the constancy of what hasn't hurt him yet. And that's a really crazy way to live. So when it comes to crazy and stupid and unwise, it's not me in this marriage who's crazy, stupid, and unwise. And so I got sidetracked, and the track that I went down just derailed. Who knows what I'll make of this in editing? Maybe I'll put it in full.